Welcome to the Anxious Love Coach podcast, the place to be to create meaningful, conscious, secure, long-term partnerships. Here we talk relationship anxiety, relationship OCD, and creating healthy dynamics with your partners so that you can experience that secure, loving connection where you both feel committed and confident. My name is Natalie Kennedy, and I'm your host. I'm a relationship anxiety coach and meditation teacher. I've had a practice for 9 years working with clients battling anxiety. And after experiencing an extraordinary shift in my own healing relative to relationships, now work to combine my personal experience as well as my training to help others trust themselves within relationship. I've been to the edge and back with my partner from my own relationship anxiety and have come out the other side, feeling consistently blessed and at ease in my partnership. I want to pass the tools I've learned along to you to help you trust yourself in relationships and also create magnetic dynamics with your partner. Our partners are our mirrors designed for our expansion, and the challenges exist generally to wake us up to ourselves, not destroy our beautiful partnerships. I believe most mainstream relationship advice today can be a huge source of anxiety and dissatisfaction. So let's jump in and normalize the challenges that we go through, call out the limitations of today's messages about love without being old-fashioned, and awaken our intuition and wisdom.
Well, hello, everyone out there.
Hello, everybody. I'm currently visiting my aunt, Aunt Diane, in Nevada. And I should give you guys a little context. Can't hear you. Can you guys hear us now? Oh, hi, Aunt Diane. Hi. Thank you. Can you hear us now? Let me see. Maybe I can just hold it. Can you guys hear us? Sound okay? Got it. Okay, cool. Look at my Aunt Diane. She's taking notes.
Well, if there are questions, I'll need to make some notes.
So a little bit of background. Some of you guys might have heard the podcast that Aunt Diane and I did, I think, last year. I think it was the love episode on the aunt we always wanted. So when I was in the... This might get a little crazy. So when I was going through relationship anxiety really bad and I had one foot out the door with my partner, Preston, I always say that if you continue compulsively seek reassurance, you kind of over time rely on other people to trust yourself. But my aunt was the person I would compulsively call for relationship advice. And she kind of helped me hang on when I had a lot of doubts, until I did a lot of the healing work that allowed me to trust myself a lot. So I thought we would come on. We've had some people submit some questions earlier today. So I thought we would just hang out and have a conversation and some tea. So maybe you guys want to light a candle and make some tea. How are you?
How am I?
How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. We have 40 people. Look at this. My friend Charlie says your aunt has the best advice, LOL.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Okay, cool. They can hear us. So I thought we could look at some of the questions that got submitted before. Some of these, please forgive us if we laugh at your questions. Because we laugh at everything. And if we laugh at your question, it's not because we're laughing at you.
It's because it's the dynamic between us.
Yeah.
We just make each other crack up.
We crack each other up a lot.
Speaking of which, your butt is in my way. Can you move over a little bit?
Wow! Okay! What kind of things can we ask? I have a glass of milk and chocolate cookies. I'm ready for this.
Good for you.
Good for you. Okay, so I thought let's take a look at some of these questions. How to have patience with men and their lack of hygiene and planning.
How to have patience with men.
And their lack of hygiene and planning.
That's a really packed question. I mean, there's a lot in there.
There is a lot.
Patience, hygiene, lack of planning. Which one of those do you want to deal with?
Let's do hygiene.
Okay.
Let's do hygiene.
Okay, go ahead.
I could still hear you when it was on the table. Well, let's try it. If you guys can't hear us, tell us, because this way you can see us both. Okay.
Okay. Natalie, what do you think about hygiene?
I think it's very important.
How important is it to you?
I don't know. I try to shower once in a while.
Okay. How important is it to you for other people to practice hygiene?
I would say it is still good now. Okay, good. I think it's important, but I also think if your partner, if someone else lacks hygiene, I think part of it is, seeing the humanness in forgetting to shower, having other priorities. But at the same time, if it is bothering you, having the right words to communicate that you would like them to brush your teeth or shower more, but doing it in a way that isn't like an attack, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make it somehow playful or funny. Press and I make fun of each other all the time when we haven't showered in a while. It's like, oh, you're stinky. It's like, and I think because neither of us get too hung up on, it's not like we have a lot of shame around that. So we feel very comfortable saying to each other if we're stinky or not. Okay. I don't know.
So her question though is
how do you deal with men?
With it? And I would say my experience, this is only my experience, men need you to be absolutely direct.
Yeah.
You cannot hint. You cannot suggest. You have to say, this is exactly what I want. And if you use the broad term of hygiene, I want you to be more hygienic. I want you to be cleaner. They don't know what that means. You have to be specific.
So like there's no mold, they might say it's functional.
But you could say, I want you to trim your toenails. I want you to brush your teeth. It would make me feel more comfortable if you took a shower before we go in the back room. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I would say is be direct.
Yeah, being direct with them about what you want. Don't use hints. And with planning, I think it's the same thing. Just saying, I would love for you to plan a date on Friday.
Right.
And I would love for you to surprise me with flowers on Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And I think if you do that for enough Valentine's Days, they'll probably get the hint.
Yeah.
That you like flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You do want to mix it up, though.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, mix it up.
Otherwise, you'll get the same thing over and over and over again.
Okay. How to keep things spicy in the bedroom.
Oh, my goodness. What are you doing now? Is it working? What's not working?
Yeah. What are you guys currently doing to keep things spicy in the bedroom?
Yeah. My big go-to for adding spice to the bedroom is mystery, playfulness. Don't put all your cards on the table.
What do you mean by that?
Keep a little mystery. If you're wearing a skirt and you decide you want to entice your mate and you think to yourself, well, I'm going to not wear any underpants under my skirt. You don't want to go out and tell him, oh yeah, okay, here it is. You want to entice. You want to keep a little mystery. You want to maybe flash him. But you know what I'm saying? Keep a little mystery. Keep it fun and playful.
Okay.
Even I'm 65 years old and we still chase each other around the house because it's playful. We just, keep it fun.
I think it's important and having time apart and making sure that during your time apart, you're taking good care of yourself so that you have something to desire, so that there's something to offer, something to desire.
Yes, because there is nothing sexier than confidence.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you are totally confident and anxiousness is not sexy. Confidence is sexy.
Yes, very true.
Anyway.
Neurosis is not sexy. But I guess let's think of other ways to keep things spicy. Try new things. Have more vulnerable conversations, I think. One of the things that makes my partner very spicy to me is realizing he's his own person with his own desires, that I don't own him. And because as soon as I feel like I own my partner or I have control over him, he becomes much less sexy to me. You know, if I get anxious and that anxiousness causes me to become controlling or critical, which does happen sometimes, inevitably he ends up deflated and emasculated. When you're critical to your partner, they become deflated, and then that deflated passiveness is very unsexy. So what's actually empowering is, having honest conversations.
But not right before the act.
Probably not. No. But just like throughout your day.
Yes.
Sometimes it's very interesting for me to know like what turns my partner on, and sometimes what turns my partner on might be different than what I expected. And I'm like, oh wow, there's still some mystery to you, you know? Mm-hmm. So let's see how people are responding. So many questions. I'm excited, Aunt Diane.
Okay. I've never done this before. I'm an Instagram virgin.
We have a question down here that I think is a good one.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Lay it on you. How does one let go of the need to have control?
Oh, boy. That's a big question.
I know.
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
But that's a big one. The need to have control, in my opinion, is because perhaps you feel so out of control within yourself. And so maybe if you do things to help you feel more in control of your own emotions and your own actions and the things you do for yourself and trusting yourself, then you don't have to control your partner. Or does that help?
Yeah. It's like you can. I think for some, you want to control what you do have control over in your life, but there's going to be some circumstances or people you have no control over, and it can be the word resistance is futile comes to mind, but it can be futile. And I think if you continue to try to control things that are really out of your control, you're going to feel this sense of desperation and futility, and it's going to feed into this compulsion to be controlling. But a lot of people who, if you examine really compulsively controlling behavior, inside you find total chaos, and really they are just controlling everything externally because they have no idea how to find a sense of control internally.
I agree with you, and that sounded really good.
Thank you.
I want to know, perhaps she's being specific about something she's controlling, and maybe we should address, because having control in the bedroom is a good thing. Being in control of your own pleasure is a good thing.
Good thing.
So the things that, like you say, that you can control, then you don't have to control him.
Right, and having control of your turn
or
on.
Her.
Yeah, or her. Having control of your turn on, having control of your, of how to work with your emotional state. That's a big one. And then I think learning how to surrender control. I mean,
Surrender is just
A
delicious.
loaded topic.
But to me, when I think of surrender, it's like, I raise my white flag.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like melted chocolate. Just give in.
Yeah.
And surrender can be wonderful.
It can be.
It can be wonderful.
I think it's really, if you felt out of control in your life a lot, I think it can feel very frightening to surrender.
Right. But if you have control of yourself, then surrender is wonderful.
Very true.
I don't know. My 2 cents worth.
What are we doing here? This is fun. Hey, we have 35 people thinking we're cool.
Okay.
How are we doing, you guys? Let's see. Oh, wow.
Holy moly.
Yep. There was one. How could I deal with the anxiety after the honeymoon phase is over?
Okay. What kind of anxiety after the honeymoon phase?
My guess is that what this person is referring to is, and this ties into like the shoulds around relationships. I think a lot of us, especially millennials and after, we were raised in an age of technology. And so we're comparing our relationships to like Disney movies and Hollywood, because that's all we learned. All we saw was our parents getting divorced. And so we either saw like marriages totally tank, or we're seeing Disney and Hollywood. And so there's not been a whole lot of conversations around like realistic relationships and how much work it can take to maintain. And so as a result, you know, the honeymoon phase is very easy, very natural. But then once that wears off, I think it's very common for my generation and generations after mine to think that something has gone wrong.
Because the feeling changes?
Correct. And so the anxiety is like, oh, I fell out of love. I've fallen out of love with them. Do I not love them anymore? Do I need to break up because I don't feel this way? I think that's probably what they're referring to. You know, the anxiety of, am I no longer in love with them, or is this normal?
It's normal.
Okay.
It's normal. The honeymoon phase is just that. It's you know, butterflies and lust and joy and all these wonderful things. And then you have to get down to business, and, you know, the bathroom needs cleaning and the bills need to be paid, and who's going to cook dinner, and, you know, trying to navigate what your boundaries are and what your household chores are going to be and whatever. You have to get down to the reality of living with each other. And so I don't know if I would say anxiety, but I know that feeling changes. And in my experience, that's when you learn to love each other. That's when it goes from lust and passion and butterflies to getting down to, how do I love this person? How do I accept this person? How do I work with this person? How do we survive together? How do we build a life together? How do we make a home? That's the love stuff. That's how the love grows.
Yeah.
You know, I love my husband far more today than the day I married him. Far more. Because you go through things together, you have your fights, you have your negotiations, you have your difficulties, and you get through those things, and it just builds. And that's building love. So don't feel anxious because you feel a little bit different after the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Okay. Okay. You have something
Why
to
do you
say?
doubt your own brilliance?
Oh, I don't think it's brilliance. No, I'm just turning to you because this is your shindig here.
Every time she speaks, my mind is blown.
Oh, you're so funny.
Yeah, someone says, I feel like I'm in a long-term relationship of over a decade. We experience cycles of honeymoon phases. Lust and passion just come in seasons between real life events.
Exactly.
That's a really good...
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. How do you learn to love each other after the honeymoon phase?
Living together, working together, surviving together, solving problems together, negotiating. All of those things build love. Think about your friendships. How did your friendships get stronger? If you've had a friend, for a number of years, how did that friendship build? How did you get closer? It's going through things together. It's living together, living life and experiencing things together. I don't mean living together in the same house.
I mean, you could.
You could.
You could. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I think that's true. I've noticed that. Oh, we talked about this last night. I noticed that it's like there's a real ebb and flow, and sometimes you're disconnected and you're not on the same wavelength, and you're butting heads. It just feels like you're breathing different air. And then I think at some point, it comes to a head and you get back on the same page. And when you're on the same, but when you get back on the same page, it's a different page than you were on together before.
Right.
And so it's like a new page that you're on together. And there is a deepening that happens there. It's kind of hard to describe.
You're growing together.
You're growing together. But that means, how do you grow? You have to fall down a bunch of times to get back up and to get stronger. So, just like you can, just like you learn to love yourself over time, by getting to know yourself deeper, by forgiving yourself. It's the same with another person.
Yeah.
You learn to love your partner the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking.
And we were saying make-up sex, too.
Make-up sex?
Make-up sex, good stuff.
Sometimes it's the best sex.
Yeah.
But one of the things I was going to say also about learning to love this person is don't have such high expectations. And you were talking about the whole Disney thing.
Yeah.
Holy moly. When I see, and I don't know if it's just part of your generation, but, we're expecting our partners to be everything. They have to be good providers. They have to be excellent lovers. They have to be great dads. They have to be good looking. They have to have good hygiene.
They have to have good hygiene. They have to be funny.
They have to be funny. They have to be good conversationalists. They have to be intellectual, and they have to be sensitive and understand you. I mean,
but not too sensitive.
Right. But we just put so much weight on the relationship and expect this other person to be everything. It's not realistic. This is a human being. You connected with this person for a reason. Something in your heart connected with this person, and, girlfriends that I have that we're in our 60s, and we're like, we have 3 things that we gotta have. And if he meets 2 of them, he's good, And, that we're joking, but you know what I'm saying? It's like you expect this person to be Superman. It's just not realistic. And how is he ever supposed to live up to that? But if you tell him, these are the things that are important to me, and you negotiate those things, you navigate those, he can do that too. These are the things that are important to me. And if he can meet those needs, you're probably good to go.
Yeah, I think another way of looking at it is it's normal to have some degree of the relationship that is unsatisfying, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard to kind of own, because in the Disney movies, they're portrayed as perfect. There's not a lot of Disney movies
where he's a disappointment.
He's a disappointment in some regard.
I met the Beast, and he was such a disappointment. Here I am, beauty. I'm here to save the day, and I meet this monster, and he stayed a monster.
He didn't.
I'm so disappointed.
What if he didn't turn into a prince after you kissed him? Would you still marry him?
He was still a frog. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, that was good. There's no Disney movies about him.
About him disappointing you.
Yeah.
Be prepared to be disappointed. That's part of life.
Yep. It's just an emotion, disappointment. And I think, so many, because life has gotten so easy and so convenient, you can order something on Amazon and get something in 2 days or
Right.
1 day.
Right.
And so we have now associated convenience, with what's supposed to be happening all the time. And we are so uncomfortable with inconvenience, with something being late, with something not going the way we expect. And we extend that to our partners too. So when they don't fulfill their end of a deal, when they disappoint us, we get anxious because we've developed this expectation that all my needs are supposed to get met all the time. Disappointment is human. And I think a lot of us assume that if we're feeling disappointment, that we're in the wrong relationship, we've done something wrong, when it's not true. A disappointment is just a normal part of being a human being.
That's right. Yeah. Be prepared to be disappointed from time to time.
That's empowering relationship advice right there. Do you guys feel empowered?
It is empowering.
It is empowering.
Because when you find that, if you can own that and say, oh man, I really hoped that he would do this thing for me and he didn't do it, and doggone it, I'm so disappointed. Well, what are you going to do about it? Empower yourself and, accept that. What disappointed me and how can I fix that? Can I talk to him about being disappointed and what we could do in the future? So, to remedy that. Or can you do something for yourself?
Yeah.
To alleviate that feeling. I really was hoping that I could go out to dinner on Friday night with someone. I wanted to go to this show and he didn't want to go, or he, whatever. Go find a girlfriend. Go by yourself.
Yep.
That's what's empowering.
And sometimes your partner, like if you have a certain hobby and they have no interest in joining you in that hobby, go do it with someone else. Go do it with your girlfriends. And who knows, sometimes they come around. Sometimes they see you having so much fun without them, they want to join in. That's happened to me.
It didn't happen to me with Preston.
No, it doesn't.
He was like, I'll be in the garage.
No, I'm not saying about that. But when Preston and I first started dating, I loved taking walks, and Preston hated taking walks. And I used to be really sad about that. I wanted to take walks together. But then during COVID, there was nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. And so we started taking walks together, and now we take 3 walks a day.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
But
fantastic.
that was like 7 years into the relationship. And, right now Preston is learning Argentine tango for me for our wedding. Can I say he's going to keep it up? I don't know, but I'm having a blast while it's happening. And I'm going to remember that forever.
Yeah, that's cool. That's growing together and evolving.
Yeah. Someone says, I want an Aunt Diane.
Oh.
She's taken.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
That's very sweet. We have a pretty sweet audience here. Oh my God, you guys are so fun. Let's see. Let me look at some old.
I can't even read that.
Well, it's hard for me
I
to
need a
see.
magnifying
I can't
glass.
see it. I can't see it from here either, but I can see it from here. Yeah, let me look at some other questions. Ooh, is it normal to not have much to talk about on a date with your partner of 10 years sometimes?
Oh, yeah. That's definitely normal. Yeah. And it's okay. All right. Can I share a story? Okay.
I love your stories.
Well, I don't know if it's much of a story, but okay.
She always says it's like not much of a story, and then she drops this like big truth bomb, and it's
stop now. My husband works away from town, out of town all week long, and so we talk to each other every evening, and same kind of thing. We've been married a long time, and after a while, the phone calls would be, Hi, what did you do today? Oh, I don't remember. That was 12 hours ago or 8 hours ago. What did you do today? Oh, I don't know. I just did these, and the conversations just started going downhill, So I said, let's make a pledge. When we talk to each other, we have to have something funny or interesting, something we read, something we saw, something like that, so that when we had our evening phone call, we'd say, okay, this is the, fact of the day, or this is the thing I learned today. And it made it more interesting. So that's something you can do when you are with your partner and, you're out to dinner on a date, and it's like, because you get tired of talking about the washing machine broke and, this bill needs to be paid and the kids are doing this, or, whatever.
Termites in the kitchen.
There's termites in the kitchen. But yeah, sometimes that can get just real tedious.
But I think the thing that you did is you put intentional effort into the conversation. It wasn't like this, you naturally have all this stuff to talk about because you're so perfect together. It's like,
no.
Yeah.
Relationships take work, and marriage is the hardest one. Marriage is harder than raising kids.
Really?
Oh, by far. By far. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, tell me more.
Oh my gosh.
I thought raising kids, I'm like dreading raising kids.
No. Raising kids it's not easy either. I'm not suggesting that raising children is an easy thing, but marriage is really difficult because you have to work at it every day. Marriage is not 50-50. Marriage is 100-100. You got to be there. You got to bring yourself to the table, because otherwise, like that, whoever posed that question, it just kind of just, And it's not that you don't care about each other or not love each other. It's that you run out of material.
Right.
And keep yourself interesting. Keep yourself interesting to yourself. Read. When you talk to your partner at the end of the day, instead of the mundane things of the day, although that's not always bad, but, talk about world events, or, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
My next question is, how do you stay interesting to yourself?
How do you stay interesting to yourself? I'm sorry, Natalie, but I just don't lose interest.
I'm so interesting.
It's not that.
I thought it was. I'm interesting. I don't know about you.
I don't know that I'm interesting to anyone else, but I'm interesting to me because I read and I consider ideas, and I go see a museum once in a while, or go to look at artwork, or keep your mind active. That's what I was trying to say.
I think it's good. Someone's saying this is great advice. See, Aunt Diane, I told you this is going to be great. How are you feeling? You guys are so sarcastic and amazing.
Oh, so we are pretty snarky.
I am not well behaved when I'm with this one. That's true. Hey, tell them the joke. We were driving around Lake Tahoe yesterday. Can you tell them the joke about the deer?
All I said was, hey, did you hear about the doe who came out of the woods and said, that's the last time I'll do that for $2? I'm sorry. Take a question.
Okay.
These poor people have suffered long enough.
Let's see. This is amazing, relatable, realistic, and funny. Thank you for doing this. Okay, cool. Let's see. Ooh, this might be interesting. Can you share advice on feeling anxious about taking up too much space in a relationship? Sometimes I feel like I'm the one who shares everything, and my boyfriend doesn't have to ask questions. I think it's like she talks a lot and he doesn't. I think you're probably the only woman that's ever felt that way.
So, okay, what the question is...
I'm anxious about taking up too much space in my relationship.
Okay, so you're interpreting that as that he doesn't have to ask her anything because she already volunteers the information?
That's probably what she's saying. That would make sense.
Okay. Why are you doing that? I'm sorry. No, seriously. It was a serious question. Why are you telling him more than maybe he wants to know?
Fair enough.
Why are you... I'm just trying to figure out why...
I think women, we have a desire to be known.
Yeah.
So we share everything hoping that they'll know us. Is that making sense? If I just share enough, he'll finally understand me. Maybe that's it.
Do you think he didn't know who you were when he married you?
A lot of these people are not married. I think they're in...
Oh.
Could be married. It could be
Sorry.
Just in a relationship. No, I think... Or whether he... I think that question could be, did you think he didn't know you when he married you or when he got into a relationship with you?
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to figure out taking up too much space in the relationship.
Yes, correct. Okay, she says, yes, correct. I love sharing the details of my life. He doesn't even have to ask the questions. So are you saying that you wish he would ask you more questions about your day? I think that's what I think there's a desire for him to inquire more about her life, her inner world and experience. Does that make sense?
It does. And what my gut reaction to that is that must be a very lonely feeling to want to share who you are and he's not asking you. Maybe it feels like he's not interested or something. My guess is that it's not that he's not interested. He probably doesn't know what to ask. He probably doesn't know that you want him to ask specific questions. And you could help him with that. You could tell him, it really makes me feel lonely when you don't ask me about my day at the end of the day, or if you don't ask about something that one of the questions my husband and I ask each other at the end of every week on Sunday, we say, how can I support you in the coming week? And there might be some, maybe he's got an important meeting or, something he's got to do at work. And he'll say, well, I've got this challenge, okay, how can I support you in that? And sometimes it's just listening at the end of that important day, hey, how did that meeting go? And so maybe if you tell your partner, this is going on for me this week, and it would really help me, and I'd know that you care and are interested if on Wednesday when this thing happens, if you ask me, hey, how did that go? Maybe kind of help guide him a little bit. My guess is it's not that he's not interested or that he doesn't love you. It's that he doesn't know what to ask. Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And I'm actually seeing that a lot of people are jumping on and saying that they relate to this. Big relate to. I'm always talking and always attracted to people quieter than me, but I wish they would talk more. I have the same desires. Another person says, yes, same. I word vomit, and he just sits there and listens. And sometimes I wish he would ask honestly. Oh, I think she's probably saying, just ask how I'm doing or more clarifying questions. I have that desire also. I feel he doesn't have to ask questions because I share it all without being prompted. I think a lot of times we expect our partners to just know what questions we would like to be asked. And there's something really special about having someone demonstrate their interest in you by asking specific questions. It's like when I ask a specific question, that means I had a baseline understanding of your situation. And based on that baseline understanding, I can form a specific question to inform kind of you that I get what you're going through and want to know more. So I understand the desire to have them take interest, but a lot of times they just don't know what to ask.
That's my guess, is he doesn't know what to ask. And also, if you're volunteering all the details of your day, he doesn't have to. Right. It's kind of like with kids, I don't know if this is a bad example or not, but with kids, a lot of times the baby doesn't have to learn to talk as early as the older ones because the older ones do all the talking for them.
That makes sense. And
so they don't have to. They just point. And the older kid says, oh, I know what he wants because they do all the talking. So,
right. Yeah.
So, you know, maybe you don't have to share everything. Maybe you could, you know, divvy it up throughout the week or something.
I think that's good. I want to turn on the light because it's getting dark.
I'll do that.
Is it that middle one?
I'll get it.
Okay. Don't run away.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Ready, Aunt Diane?
What?
How do I tell my boyfriend that I feel like he doesn't think I'm pretty because he hasn't complimented me in a while?
Oh, welcome to the club.
What do you mean, welcome to the club?
Yeah, most of us move over. Golly, clog up the whole couch here.
Jeez.
Because he doesn't compliment. Does Preston
Look, they're
notice?
sending all these hearts because you're mean to me.
Oh. I'm not being mean. That's just the way we interact.
The way we are.
Does Preston notice when you get your hair cut?
No!
Yeah, me neither. Well, not Preston, but my husband doesn't notice when I get my hair cut.
I have to be like,
yeah. You know what
Hello?
I come out and I go, damn, I look good today. Don't you think I look good today? Am I a hot bitch or what? And he's like, yeah, you look nice. You know? Yeah. Welcome to the club, dear. Most guys, in my experience, they don't really notice when you're looking really great. But you could say it. You could say, I look really good.
So good today.
Gosh, I'm a good-looking broad.
Oh my God.
How many of you have seen those, they have wall hangings, they have dishes, they have all kinds of stuff that say, hello, gorgeous, you're beautiful, be amazing today. Why do they do that? Because the guys aren't telling us. That's why. Because we have to tell each other. Right?
Yes.
They made those for us. They're not making them for guys.
I know. I don't. They don't notice.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, this is great. All right. Well, that was awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I think we will hang up the coat. I just made that up. I think we'll hang it up there. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for jumping on. This was awesome and fun.
Yes, it was fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this today. This is Aunt Diane. I'm probably going to save this. I will put it on the page, and we'll probably pull the audio, make a podcast out of this also. So thank you all for tuning in. Okay, I'm going to read these to you because they're going to feel good to see. Thanks for the advice. Love the chat, and I'm feeling normal. I'm so glad you're feeling normal. Thank you all for being here. Oh, let me see. Those are all hearts for you. Merci, Aunt Diane.
Oh, thank you. How sweet.
This audience is very, very sweet.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. I needed this.
Oh,
Good stuff. See how wise you are?
oh, you're so funny.
Sorry, I'm in your way.
No, it's okay. I love you.
I love you too. Okay, everybody. Have a great evening. Talk soon. Bye-bye. If you love Anxious Love Coach, please leave us a review. Every month, I will be choosing one review, posting the username on my Instagram page, and offering that person a personalized voice message response to any question of their choice via private message. Thanks for listening to The Anxious Love Coach today. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Please also subscribe to my email list at anxiouslovecoach.com, as I'm trying to reduce my reliance on social media. In exchange, you'll receive my free relationship anxiety meditation and a ton of information that I won't share to the general public about my personal challenges and learnings within relationship. If you would like to work with me and or my co-coach, head on over to my website and click Start Here. Thanks for listening, and catch you in the next episode.